When it comes to VA housing benefits, there are things the VA doesn't want veterans to fully understand, not because they're hiding them, but because the process is so buried in complex language, outdated forms, and vague communication that most veterans never tap into the full power of these programs. Today, we're talking about the Specially Adapted Housing SAH grant, the Special Housing Adaptation SHA grant, and the Home Improvements and Structural Alterations HISA grant. These three programs can be life-changing for disabled veterans, yet most vets either never apply the wrong way, or give up after a denial. And that's exactly what the VA is counting on, that you'll stop trying before they ever have to approve your claim. So let's break down what these benefits actually are, where veterans go wrong, and how to fight back if you get denied. First, the SAH grant, Specially Adapted Housing. This is one of the most powerful housing benefits out there. It's designed for veterans with very serious service-connected disabilities who need to adapt or build a home to live more independently. As of 2025, eligible veterans can receive up to over $117,000 to either build an adapted home from scratch, remodel an existing one, or even apply the benefit toward a mortgage if the property meets accessibility standards. But here's where the VA makes it tricky. You have to meet very specific disability requirements, like loss of use of both legs, blindness in both eyes with only light perception, or certain severe burns or respiratory injuries. Many veterans don't realize that loss of use doesn't mean amputation. It means you can't effectively use the limb. So if you've got documented conditions like severe neuropathy, paralysis, or joint immobility tied to your service that can meet the criteria. The VA often denies claims simply because veterans don't clearly demonstrate loss of use with supporting medical evidence. The key to avoiding that is using your VA medical records, your DBQS, and even statements from your physician describing how your service-connected condition limits your mobility or independence at home. Next up is the SHA grant, Special Housing Adaptation. This one is often confused with SAH, but it's designed for a different set of disabilities and typically offers a smaller grant amount, about $23,000. This program is meant to help veterans adapt their existing home or a relative's home to better meet their needs. SHA is available for veterans with conditions like loss of or loss of use of both hands, certain burns, or permanent breathing injuries. The mistake many vets make is thinking they need to have the same level of disability severity as SAH to qualify. That's not true. SHA is for veterans who still have functional independence, but need adaptive improvements like accessible bathrooms, widened doorways, or modified living spaces. A lot of veterans get denied because they don't provide clear documentation of how their specific service-connected condition limits daily activities in the home. The VA wants to see a direct link between your service-connected disability and the requested modification. So when you apply, don't just say, "I need a roll-in shower because I have bad knees." Say, "I am service-connected for bilateral knee pain and lumbar spondylosis, which make it unsafe for me to step over a bathtub. My doctor recommends a roll-in shower for safety." That direct medical link is what pushes a claim from maybe to approved. Now let's talk about the HISA grant, Home Improvements and Structural Alterations. This one flies under the radar because it's not part of the VA's loan guarantee program. It's actually handled through the VA's medical side. The HISA grant provides up to $6,800 for service-connected veterans, or up to $2,000 for non-service-connected veterans who receive VA care, to make medically necessary home improvements. These can include things like installing ramps, handrails, roll-in showers, or lowering counters. The biggest difference is that HISA doesn't require you to own the home, but it does require a prescription or medical justification from a VA physician. The most common mistake veterans make with HISA is treating it like a construction grant instead of a medical necessity grant. The VA won't approve comfort upgrades. Everything has to tie directly to a medical need caused by your condition. So if your doctor doesn't write the justification properly, you'll get denied. You want your doctor to use language like veteran requires modification to safely enter and exit the home, or veteran requires roll-in shower due to inability to step over barrier caused by service-connected knee and back conditions. The words requires and medical necessity are critical. Another area where veterans go wrong is trying to apply for these benefits alone, or assuming that a denial means the end of the road. A denial doesn't mean you don't qualify. It usually means you didn't submit the right supporting evidence. Most denials are for documentation issues, not eligibility issues. To fight a denial, start by reviewing your VA decision letter closely. It will state exactly why the claim was denied. Then, address that reason directly in your appeal. If they said insufficient evidence showing loss of use, go back to your doctor and get a letter that specifically states you meet that threshold. If they said condition not clearly linked to requested modification, submit photos, personal statements, or even a buddy statement explaining your daily limitations. Remember, you can also request an informal conference or use a VA accredited representative or VSO who's familiar with housing grants. Many veterans don't realize they can even reapply for these benefits multiple times if their condition worsens or their living situation changes, especially SAH and SHA grants, which now allow multiple uses up to the maximum lifetime benefit. It's also worth noting that these programs can be used together in certain cases. For example, you can use HISA to cover smaller modifications while using SAH or SHA for larger structural changes, but you need to plan carefully. The VA won't let you double dip for the same project, so each modification must serve a distinct medical or functional purpose. Veterans often make the mistake of applying for both grants for the same work order, which usually results in one of them being denied. So how do you make sure your application gets approved the first time? Here's the blueprint. Step 1. Gather all your medical evidence that directly ties your condition to the modification you need. Step 2. Get a detailed letter or prescription from your VA or civilian doctor explaining why that modification is medically necessary. Step 3. Include photos or layout diagrams showing the barriers in your home that prevent safe mobility or function. Step 4. Clearly label your supporting documents when you upload them. For example, knee pain doctor letter, bathroom photo, functional limitation statement. Organization matters because raters are human and they review hundreds of claims a day. The easier you make it for them to see your eligibility, the better your chances. And finally, if you're denied, appeal quickly and confidently. Don't wait months. You have 1 year from the date of the denial to file a supplemental claim or appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. At the end of the day, these benefits exist because Congress recognized that veterans with disabilities deserve to live independently, safely, and with dignity in their own homes. But the VA's process is not designed to make that easy. You have to be your own best advocate, stay organized, and make sure your medical records tell the story of how your service-connected condition affects your ability to live comfortably at home. Don't let a confusing form or a lack of information stop you from claiming what you've earned. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content that breaks down VA claims, benefits, and insider tips that every veteran should know. Every week, we cover topics that can save you time, money, and frustration when dealing with the VA. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Because knowledge is power, and when it comes to your VA benefits, that power can change your life.